Stadium here in Kansas City. A few moments ago, the emotional leader of the Chiefs defense, Eric Berry, making his way out of the tunnel. He and his mates will get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. And on the ground they go with a running back. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Now, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Mahomes now to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Green 39.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is...
And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. The touchdown giving them the first-quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. He can't get him down. He's still fighting forward. Shrugs off another. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Reggie Ragland coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. McManus's point after is good, and we are tied at 7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 7 76 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, that good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now you can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know they're securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
But gets it on the draw from Mahomes. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Caught Kelsey, left side. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now it's Hunt. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Looking deep downfield. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 36 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football. Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown,
you want two.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt. They'll try to run with Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And it's now 21-7. Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And all the way down to the 26. A big play there for the Broncos on 3rd. 43 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection. Down
right around the 25. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 2nd down, Prescott. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Extra point from McManus is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. That time a 6-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. And he's racking up the yardage. You see the catches. And defensively, what do you do here to stop a guy like this?
You keep trying to change things up because nothing is really working. Whether you have a man on him.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Hunt, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Well, they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a 1st down. Now Hunt. And an alley to run. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. That one is caught by Hunt. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. Prescott on 1st down. And that'll be incomplete.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. On 2nd down, Prescott again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. It became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Marquette King now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, Mahomes trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Throwing, Prescott. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Final play of the half. Prescott. He's going to walk into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On second down, here's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 45 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Butker now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here you go. Here you go. All right, hey. 26.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
26.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. Finding room inside the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power. And we just saw it on that play.
1st down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field, and now...
And he is in! Touchdown, Kansas City! A great effort there, taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier, now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him, as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Butker now to kick this one away. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. A second down throw for Prescott. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long. And they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point that continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
On the run, this is Hunt. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here we go. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run again with Hunt. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 1st down. Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down. Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still 1st down. Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still 1st down.
Well, perhaps the center has a little stage fright here. Let's see if he can do better this time. It's now 1st and 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. To the right side, complete to Taylor. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Chiefs on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 10.
Green 39. Green 39.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Staying on his feet, forced out to his left. Now he'll escape to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Broncos on third down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Marquette King now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And now here comes Kansas City. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here's Hunt. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here's Prescott. And now another one thrown incomplete. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. And this will be called officially a 66-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely on line. They just need a little more oomph behind it. And it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
This is Hunt. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Chiefs on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. First down, and they'll try to run the option left. Pushing him away.
Popped it right out there.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. The Chiefs on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop his shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Around the NFL, fourth quarter right now in Atlanta. And now the Redskins, they've opened up a 2-touchdown lead there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Now Prescott. It's Floyd on the right. And oh, he coughed it up. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run it. This is Muhammad. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They go again with Muhammad. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
On 1st and 10, Prescott throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Prescott from the gun. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. To throw is Prescott. Then his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off right around the 43. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
3 down, 3 down. Here we go.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points,